Once upon a time, there was a wealthy merchant who lived in a bustling city in ancient India. The merchant was known for his wealth and riches, but he was also infamous for his insatiable greed. He was never content with what he had and always desired more. One day, the merchant heard about a wise and revered monk named Buddha who was said to have the power to impart great wisdom and knowledge. The merchant, intrigued by the monk's reputation, decided to seek him out in the hopes of gaining even more wealth and success. When the merchant arrived at the temple where Buddha resided, he was greeted by the humble monk who welcomed him with open arms. The merchant was impressed by the monk's serene demeanor and peaceful surroundings, but he remained focused on his own selfish desires. The merchant asked Buddha how he could become even wealthier and more successful. Buddha smiled and replied, "Why do you desire more wealth when you already have so much? Material possessions will not bring you true happiness or fulfillment." The merchant scoffed at Buddha's words, convinced that his wealth was the key to happiness. He persisted, "But surely there must be some secret or technique you can teach me to increase my wealth even further?" Buddha replied, "I can teach you many things, but it is up to you to use that knowledge wisely. Greed will only lead to suffering and misery. Instead, focus on cultivating inner peace and contentment." The merchant, unable to comprehend Buddha's teachings, left the temple feeling disappointed and disillusioned. He returned to his lavish home and continued to amass more wealth and possessions, but he found himself feeling empty and unfulfilled. One day, as the merchant was walking through the marketplace, he overheard a group of people discussing Buddha's teachings. He listened intently as they spoke about the importance of compassion, mindfulness, and non-attachment. The more the merchant heard, the more he began to realize the error of his ways. He had been so consumed by his greed that he had lost sight of what truly mattered in life. He realized that true happiness could not be found in material possessions, but rather in cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment. Determined to learn more, the merchant returned to the temple and begged Buddha for his guidance. Buddha saw the sincerity in the merchant's eyes and decided to teach him a valuable lesson. Buddha led the merchant to a nearby pond and asked him to fill a small cup with water from the pond. The merchant did as he was told, but Buddha then asked him to pour the water back into the pond. Confused, the merchant asked, "What is the point of this exercise?" Buddha replied, "You see how the water flowed out of the cup and back into the pond? This is a reminder that material possessions are like water in a cup. They can bring temporary satisfaction, but they will always flow away. Only by letting go of attachment to material possessions can you experience true freedom and inner peace." The merchant finally understood the error of his ways. He realized that his greed had blinded him to the true value of life. From that day forward, he dedicated himself to living a life of simplicity, mindfulness, and compassion. The merchant became a changed man and spent the rest of his days spreading Buddha's teachings and helping others find true happiness and fulfillment. He had finally learned that the key to a rich and fulfilling life was not in amassing more wealth, but in cultivating inner peace, content,